Lift me up. Beam me up, Scotty.
Going up.
Going up, going up, higher than an aeroplane. Take a look at me, and you will see my name is Crane. I just didn't like it simple.
Tell everybody what we're doing.
I can't see crap at night in that diggum combine. For one thing, whoever had his combine previously had the lights tipped straight down in the header, and you can't see nothing out in front of you. All you can see is just straight down in the header. So we're going to adjust them up where you can see out. Well, we'll probably adjust some of them in the header and some out. And then we're swapping them to all LED headlights or light bulbs. Gonna be pretty pricey, but I don't care. I want to see. Brian of your other channel told me about swapping them out. I believe he done it on a 9500 before he traded up. So we've got 6 located. We really want to change the row finder lights out. Something else we've done is them row finder lights has got a switch up there in the cab. It's either your blinkers or your row finder lights, and you can only turn one row finder light on at a time. I got up in the steering column and I've cut them wires, and we're going to put a toggle switch on it and tie them 2 row finder lights on together where I can turn both them suckers on going through the field. I intend to see. I'm tired. It seems like every year we cut 90% of our beans in the dark. Every year it seems like we cut more and more beans in the dark. So I intend on seeing. I want it to look like the sun coming up over the hill when people see us running out in the field. So let me tell and show you what we got here. We're in here in the cab of my 9400. And there was, which I've done took the rod out of it. But right here, there's a switch. And this is for blinkers, or you've got a left, they call these row finder lights. You got a left one and a right one. Well, this old switch in here was messed up, and you'd have to like take your hand and hold down on that rod to make your lights come on, and it was really aggravating. Well, when I'm in the field, I want both them lights on at the same time. So what I did was I took this switch apart, and there's a wad of wires that comes in here. They go through this little area of the steering column. I pulled them out of there, and they come in here to this plug, and done my test light and systematically done some testing. This red light has power on it when you turn your hazard lights on. This one and this one. And that sends power to that so that you have your blinkers. Well, I never used the blinkers, and nobody pays attention to the blinkers on a large piece of equipment like this. So I'm not worried about having blinkers. And these are the 2 wires going to your blinkers. So we're doing nothing with them. We're going to tape them off. And these other 3 wires, one's the power coming into your field lamps, and the other sending power to your field lamps. So we stripped all them off. I'm going to put a wire nut on them, tape them up good. And now when you turn the power on to your field lamps, both the row finder lamps come on. I was initially going to put a switch right here in the steering column, but when I got to thinking about it, them row finders lamps only come on when you have the field lights on, so there's no need in putting a switch in there. So we're just gonna tie these up, tuck them neatly back in the steering column, put that back together, and call that little project finished. Some people may think it's stupid, but that's the way I want it. What do you think? Got my row finder lights on. These were add-ons. Me and Robert done them. Made these combines didn't have a light on the back. doing this, I got somebody to get out and pick the rocks out of the header for me.
I knew we left this tractor on the grain car for a reason. Get out of our field!
Meet me up there on at this shady corner and we'll try to unload going down.
There. Back where you belong. Ready to come down? Unload. This ought to be a good half a truckload anyways. It is on corn anyways. But you never get as many beans as you do corn. Pretty day. So today is Thursday, October the 27th, I believe. I think. All I know is the 30th is Sunday because it's my mama's birthday. So wish mama a happy birthday Sunday. But we were out here at the Frog Jump, or Daddy's home place, cutting our last field of full season beans. After it, we'll have 68 acres of double crop beans to cut, and about 10 acres of replant, and then 2022 soybean harvest will be done. We just wanted to get done before Halloween. I don't think it's gonna happen. It rained Tuesday. We got about 9/10. Rain was too wet to cut Wednesday. But we come out here, got moved out here Wednesday, or this morning. Got here about 10 o'clock. Yeah, because, but no, 10:45, because we left the shop at 9:45. But yeah, it's 75 acres here. This is our field of 30s and 15s. What we've learned so far is you got to cut them all on an angle, because our header, you can try to cut them with the row. It's more efficient to cut them with the row. but our header, it just wants to push. But we figured, and don't put a 5-degree angle on it. Cut them some bucks on a 45. That's what I've been saying. But you cut them on a 45, so it'll cut them and hardly ever push unless, you know, corn stalk or something. Yes, but 75 acres, got half a truckload. We have cut a couple of fields where we had the 30s and the 15s side by side, and I didn't cut them, but Dylan did. That field in front of the shop, and he said he couldn't tell no yield difference. And he said they was just making about the same. And we'll find out more over here, you know, what these do, how the 30s and the 15s do. But what we have learned is that we're going to go back to drilling them next year. We just like our drilled beans better. But we decided that if we got some really low ground, like creek bottoms, that we might put them on 30s. But we learned that the 30s do not need to go on a hill. We got the cattle bearing with us today. CB Livestock's #2 man right there. So if you need any cattle unloaded on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, he's your man. Go see CB Livestock. Livestock sales, cow sale every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Call Clay Brewer for all your livestock needs. He ought to be a sponsor of the channel. But yeah, got the cattle bearing with us ourselves, so Big K.
Well, you can see them new LED lights down there reflecting in the header. And you can also see that old dust hanging. So it probably isn't going to be long before we're shut down tonight. Had a pretty decent day, guiding over 40 acres. You can see the field view over there. We got mostly green, which is a good thing. It's light green, wish there was more dark green on it. Says these are averaging 44 bushels an acre, which is a little disappointing. I thought we would be better than that. This is the 15s versus the 30s. We can, in my opinion, I don't think there's any difference. Robert says he thinks the 15s are slightly better. Well, you can look at the map there. Pretty, half both them fields was split. Pretty similar results. I think the 15s cut a little easier. They rolling in there pretty good. There's a few unthreshed pods, but for the most part, real clean, pretty sample going in the tank. You can watch it there on the camera. This is our first year being 100% enlist beans. We're thinking it may be our first and our last. What do you think, Robert? Probably. We like the enlist because it's just a lot more flexible herbicide program. You don't have to deal with all those rules and regulations of spraying dicamba. Old bean's starting to get a little tough, which that's okay. We just wanted to try these new LED lights out. Positive reviews from us. Our biggest problem was, I think a lot of our problem was, whoever had this combine before had the lights tilted down in the header and you couldn't see out there in front of you. I spent many a night wandering around in the dark trying to find some beans. Especially after, like, when you go dump a truck and you come back, spend all night trying to find the beans you left.